Okay, this is the PressuRizer. It's our new small sized pedal here that does compression and boost, and it's got a bunch of cool tricks up its sleeve. What I was just playing right then was called the bloom setting, and what that does is it adds kind of a dramatic cut to the note at first that makes so that you can blend it with the dry and end up having a swell to the note, kind of like a really nice Les Paul has. Now I'm playing an American Standard Strat here, and that was just on the bridge pickup. Here's without it. Okay, here's with it, with that bloom. You should be able to tell that the note starts off kind of normal and then it kind of gets bigger. Now, I'll turn this into the off position and you can hear just some regular compression. Here's fully wet. You can kind of hear the pop on the note. You know, a lot of guys really like that, but what's really popular is to have this blend control so you can have your normal sound and then you can blend in that compressed sound. So you get some of your attack, but you get a little bit of that sustain with it. Okay, over here we have what I call limit, and what that is, it's a FET booster circuit that I've got set for a soft or a hard limit. So I'm going to turn the sustain down so I get more level. That's with this off. Here's with it on hard. I'm going to go straight for the hard. Here's without it. You can hear it's got more of a lot more of a dynamic attack without it. Here's hard again. And then of course soft is just right. And back to off. See, that's just plain old clean. Versus this. So with that, it's kind of like playing a small tube amp or something where you can dig in, play soft and it's clean, you know. When you dig in, it just stops it from getting real loud compared to when it's off. See how that just gets loud and obnoxious? This kind of helps control that volume, which is nice for strumming or now let me turn the compression up more with it set like this. There's also a tone control back here, and the cool thing about the tone control is it boosts the highs if you turn it up. Okay, there's flat, here's up. I'll crank it. Back to flat. Now it only affects the wet, so let me crank over here to the wet. Turn this on. Right. Or you can turn it to the left and it cuts the mids. You might say, well, why would you ever do that? That's kind of made it sort of disappear. But if you blend that with the dry, it can take that compressed sound and make it less dramatic with it cut, with the mids cut. So now you've got the sustain from it, but without that kind of in-your-face quality compression normally gives. Now, let me show you this bloom thing, because it's pretty interesting. I keep cranking the sustain up because obviously I want to show you. You can, of course, dial these things back a little bit. But let me go to the slow bloom setting. Now, right there with it cranked and fully wet, you'd think, well, how am I supposed to ever use that? Well, I mean, you know, you could obviously use it as a special effect. But here's what you do. You take this, go back to wet. Here's fully dry, sorry. Here's fully dry. And now I'm going to bring in just about a third of it. Hear it get bigger after a second. Okay, here's a little more of it. Hear that, well, it's a bloom. It's just like a bloom on a Les Paul or anything like that. Put it on fast and it doesn't take quite as long. You can make it get brighter as it blooms. Watch this. Hear it getting brighter after that bloom comes in. Or you can, I like on the bloom setting, I like to cut the mids back over in here because it makes it less noticeable that it's doing that. See, it just gets a little bigger. Here's without. I know, never turn it off, right? Just for fun, let's kick in this soft limit. Okay, now I just made a comment. I said, yeah, never turn that off, because a lot of guys use compressors and they just turn them on because they can't, once you hear it, it's hard to turn it off. We came up with this idea. Instead of just having it on off and you never use this switch, we've got a special circuit in here that if you press and hold it like this, it turns green, and that means that the compressor's locked on. And then there's a knob over here on the side that you can add another boost. Right now you've got the compressor locked on. You hit this. So instead of not having that switch accessible, now you've got a two-stage setup here where you can have it with compression, or of course off, just compression, or compression with this output boost. And it's an output volume boost. So maybe you leave it like this for your songs, you know. And then when you get to a solo, you just... and then go back out of it. I know I'm not doing a bunch of cool compression sounding things, but I'm just trying to show you what the features do and all that, and then you guys can come up with cool sounding music to play through it. Alright, that's the PressuRizer.